Ah, welcome everyone. This is the third try. My name is Patricia Tomowski. I'm one of the founders of healingals.org. And please get more information about us on the website and we will get started again. So, okay, we're not medical professionals. This course is for educational purposes only. We're not giving medical advice. The reason that you want to listen to us is that we have been to the homes of over 40 ALS reversals. We've worked with hundreds of PALs over the past 12 years, many medical professionals, and this course is the basics of what we've learned. So if you haven't registered for the course, please go to the homepage of healingals.org. Welcome to week 1 Q&A. Congratulations for being here for our second week, since last week was the introduction. If this is the first time you are here and you missed last week, please do both the introduction and module 1. So you don't want to skip the introduction because it gives you the basics of the course. And we're going to do a poll a little bit later on homework, which is going to be hopefully good. This is just a one-page summary of what we did last week. It's a self-study course, 2 to 4 hours a week with instructions, live Q&A, mornings and evenings on Thursday. And there are only 4 requirements for the course. Please register. Please attend Sunday webinars. Please attend Q&A. Monday Q&A and this Q&A are strongly recommended. And 1 hour a week of volunteer work in any area that you're passionate about. We went over that last week as to why. Your goal is to complete the 47 steps in 1 year. But don't worry about it. You do what you can. So expect to feel overwhelmed. Don't worry about getting behind. It doesn't matter because guess what? You got next year to finish. People who want to work ahead, we have basic boot camp, Sunday recordings, and 2022 and 2019 conference recordings. The course, just a quick 30,000 foot view of the course. Dr. Bredesen, MD, he talked about 36 holes in your roof when he was discussing Alzheimer's. Basically, you probably have about 15 holes in your roof, and this course is supposed to help you find and fix the 15. We don't know which 15. It's going to be different for everybody. Some of you might have 10, some of you might have 20, so don't compare yourself with anybody else. Please, we have Monday Q&As, other programs, Facebook group, and we have over 200 pals in the WhatsApp group. In order to join the WhatsApp group, you need to watch the 4 basic boot camps on the Sunday recordings, download WhatsApp on your phone, and healingals@gmail, just send them an email and they will add you to the WhatsApp group. A lot of the questions that are here can be answered in the WhatsApp group during the week from your fellow pals. Okay, a few little things. Make sure you've whitelisted Healing ALS and info@healingals.org. Please email healingals@gmail.com if you have any questions. Registration we talked about. The homework for module 2 should be on the website, but I'm going to tell you it's not right now, but it will be within the hour of the time we finish this. So, sorry about that. We do have a new website coming on, probably next week, maybe the week after. They keep putting me off, but it will happen. If there's a problem with the new website, we will email the modules to you. Okay, quick summary of what the reversals did. Every single one of them changed their thinking mindset. All of that's the one thing they all had in common. They all researched, they tried everything and anything they could to heal. They all made mistakes and they didn't give up. And they were in charge of their health. I would say maybe a third of them did it with zero medical professional help. I mean, zero. The rest used medical professionals, but they used them with as advisors, and they used their support team advisors, and they made their decisions. They were in charge and they chose which advisors to listen to and which piece of what each advisor said to listen to. So, you decide how to spend your days. This is again a little bit from last week. You choose to live with ALS. Try not, you don't want to go overboard with too much fun, whatever. Those who healed did both. So at the end of this year at Christmas, I'd like you to say, did I spend all the time I wanted with fun, family, friends, and personal growth? And did I do all I could heal? So we're asking you to commit to healing, commit to doing the course as much as you can. And all of this time, be living with ALS with a great attitude, be happy, at peace, and thinking thoughts of love, appreciation, gratitude, and forgiveness always. If you have not forgiven everybody and anybody in your life, it will cause an emotional block to your healing. It's hard to believe that our emotions can block our physical healing, but they do. We know that the science has proven it. So do the best you can each day, each week, each month. That's all you can do. Last thing, you can heal. Every single one of the ALS reversals that we interviewed said, had they done nothing, they would not be here today. There is a scientific reason why each of them healed. This is science. This isn't luck. Okay. Even those who healed with prayer, they went to the prayer service. They, Wendy Moore, where she had little Bible passages all over her house. They made a commitment to heal, and we invite you to commit to heal. So we're going to do questions and comments right after the poll. And I am actually going to do the poll. I think I can do this. Let's see. It says start poll. Let me see. Apps. Polls, quizzes. Ha. Okay. So I'm going to launch the poll. This is a 4-question poll, and I'd like everyone to participate and answer as best you can. And this is anonymous. I don't know who's answering what question, so you get to answer your questions anonymously. And so if you could all just fill in this, and then we all get to look at the results. So the first question is, who is here for the first time? And who attended the instructions? Because I know some of you we said, look, it's not too late to join. So some of you are here for the first time. So I want to welcome everyone who is here for the first time. And then I'm going to ask you, so question 2 is, did you complete the self-study? Question 3, you either completed it or started it. And question 4 is, were you inspired? So obviously, if you didn't complete, complete module 1, it's going to be hard to inspire. Certainly if you didn't start it, it will definitely be hard to feel inspired. So. Okay, fantastic. We're getting there. Okay, I'm going to give you all about maybe 15 more seconds. The majority of you have answered, but there's still a few people left who have not answered yet. So if you could do your best. I know not everybody has keyboard access. It's not quite that simple. Okay. Just make sure I'm okay with the chat. Okay. So Larissa, you said, how do you find module 1? It's right there on healingals.org. It says, click here to see the recording. Find module 1. There's a link to module 1 on the homepage. So I will do me a favor and text me. You have my text if you haven't found it after this call. Okay. I'm also going to put my text number in here, but I'd prefer you email healingals@gmail.com. But if you are having trouble, if for some reason, Alicia's extremely good at answering questions. So that is my cell. You can text me as well. If I'm not at work, it might take me a little while to answer if I'm at work. So, but if you don't get an answer to your question that you need, please do not hesitate to text me. Okay, I'm going to end the poll. Thank you, everyone who participated, which is most of you. And now I'm going to share results. This is good. Okay. Does everybody see the results?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, good. So a few of you are here for the first time. That's perfect. and everyone else attended. That's great. And 69% of you have completed module 1, which is great, and 79% have at least started it. So that is fantastic. And 78% felt inspired. So I would love to hear from, I would like to hear from a couple people that felt inspired, and maybe one or two who have not felt inspired. So thank you very much for getting that. I think that was pretty cool. Anyway, okay, good. So I think I can just close that or minimize it, whatever. Okay, great. So let's get started with the Q&A in the chat. Alicia, just wave and say hello to everyone, please.
Hello.
Alicia is the one that answers healingals@gmail.com, and she's really good at answering emails. And if she can't, she asks me, and so that is fantastic. So anyway, this is a self-study course, and I don't want anybody to feel guilty if you didn't finish. Just say, guess what? I'll finish it next week. No big deal. Okay. Or the week after. This is not supposed to add stress to your lives. This is supposed to add, add to your healing. And the very first step to healing is knowing that you can heal. And so I'd like someone to share who did complete the module and did feel inspired. And then after that, get someone prepared who didn't feel inspired. So and I want to know why. So great. Really, it's very important to hear from both of you. And okay. And if you can't speak, feel free to share in the chat. Okay. Glenn, go ahead.
Yeah. I hadn't actually seen the Nell the Bus, that little 2-minute video before, but I was very inspired by the contraption that they made to help her walk up and down the hallway. That was actually very cool.
Yeah, and her son and her husband did it, and they, yeah, it's great. Yeah, I am impressed with that too, as well as because for your bowels and your muscles, it's really nice to have that vertical. There are also these little machines now that you can stand up. Right. They help you stand up, that the ALS Association, I think, has them to lend out. I would try to get one and get on a waiting list for one. Anybody who has a wheelchair. But I love the home contraption, and in a way is even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. All right. Anybody else? Did you feel inspired, Glenn, while you were on there?
Yeah, I did. I did. I felt inspired by that. I also felt inspired by the Stephen Cherry video. I hadn't seen that in a while. So it reminded, just like John had put in the chat, it reminded me of a few things I had forgotten. So. Okay.
Anybody else want to share? And Alicia, why don't you, Joan McLeod, why don't you read that one? Wait it. Oh, actually, I'll do it. Healing for the Joan, can you speak?
Oh, yeah, Joan's here, but she just has a mouthful of food at the moment.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll read it for you, Joan.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and you guys are allowed to eat while you're listening. That's fine. Food is very important, especially it's dinner time for a lot of people. So hearing firsthand from pals that it survived was so inspirational, having common symptoms and knowing that they recovered, giving me hope. Great. Fantastic. Okay. And thank you. Alicia's answering a lot of the questions in your chat that she can listen to. Thank you, Alicia. Really appreciate it. Okay, so Linda asked, my question is the 7 questions at the end. Are we supposed to submit those answers? No, it's a personal checklist for you. This is very self-studied. So, and several of you had trouble finding the link. I'm actually going to show it to you. I'm going to share my screen and go to, just a second. healingals.org.
Yes, I think there might be confusion. It does say module 2 next to it.
Well, I know it's a little, so access. So this is the introduction and self-study. Yeah. ALS reversals are real. Here is the, oh, this is it. So if you just go to the one that says step 1 here, it did say step 2 for a while. I think actually, so that's fine. I will put the step 2 directly below it. So you will have access to both module. So this is exactly how you get there. Okay, so this is the homework for module 1, and people asked about the check for understanding of the checklist. So it's right there. Okay, so and module 2 will be there within an hour of the time we get off this call. So, okay, stop my share. So I'll just go back. So again, here it is right there. Here's the module 1. And actually, this is not module 1 recording. This is the introduction recording. So a little bit confusion of everybody because we did the introduction. I will also fix that as well. So thank you so much for the information. All right. So just remember, you have to register for the correct course every evening. You got to register for the second one, not the first one. If you're here in the evening, the people in the morning register for the second one. Okay, good. I'm hoping that got answered. All right. I would love, right. And Chris and Jennifer, thank you. If you can speak, you can actually talk. Do you guys want to can one of you unmute yourself?
Tish, there is a comment from John X, and he said, Stephen Sherry reminded me of some things that I had forgotten and confirmed some things that I am doing.
Fantastic. Okay, good. And Chris and Jennifer, feel free to unmute yourself and share what you shared on the chat. And
Sure.
Carl, go ahead.
My husband's kind of shy, so I can go ahead and talk, but we were both inspired because we feel like meeting with the medical community, they just tell you there's nothing they can do, but here's more medicine that might make a difference and it might not do much. And so for us, this class really has given us a lot of hope, and that's kind of our family's tagline is hope. And so for us, this is really important.
Great.
I'm just really committed to it. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you for sharing. Look, guys, it's hard for the medical professionals to understand that integrative medicine works. Integrative medicine has been around for probably since the early 1900s. But it's really been very active for the last 30 or 40 years. We will be able to prove with the registry that what we are doing here, what you guys are doing here, and it actually works. We know that it works, but we'll have actually documented proof. I can't wait till module 4, because module 4 is when if you haven't joined the registry, you're certainly welcome to join ahead of time, but it will give you a video instructions on exactly what to do. Okay, Carl, please, Carl Klassen, please share. Thank you, Jennifer. Oh, we can't hear you, Carl. Okay, no, but try again. And I would love to hear someone who was not inspired. Please share why you weren't inspired, because I think that might be helpful to give us an idea. And Carl, we just can't hear you for some reason. I don't know why.
Maybe log out and log back in. That worked earlier for someone.
Yeah, so you could try that and just check your microphone. So, but you can put your comment in the chat, Carl, would be great. Okay. Yeah, it is hard to believe, but we're getting more and more reversals. And I'm actually going to show you on the new website, which Alicia has been working hard on and our web people have been working hard on. Let me see. I'm going to show you Firefox, which is kind of good. So, oops, I don't know what that is. Just a second. Share screen. Firefox. There we go. Okay, I'm going to actually show you. Oh, I don't quite have it quite there. Actually, Alicia, I might make you co-host if you want to bring it up. Because I have the 47 steps, but I don't have the reversals right here on top of my screen, which I thought I had open. So,
What did you want pulled up?
just on the shared drive the Canva for the 47 for the reversals.
Just 1 minute.
Okay. So okay. So I'd still like to know if you want to just put it in the chat and you don't want to share it, please. And Bosa, I love it. If they can do it, I can do it. Steve and Bianca said, I have no video or microphone. That's fine. Good. Seeing people and the reversals is very encouraging. Yeah, look, this is so doable. We actually believe there are probably thousands. We know of about over 100 ALS reversals. We believe there are many, many, many more ALS reversals, but it is truly inspiring. So as a FALS, so my question on the FALS, okay, great. I love that. Joan, I like that. If they can do it, so can I. These are ordinary people. I look at Stephen Sherry, he was a carpenter, okay? I would say the people who have reversed are from all walks of life. The education level didn't really matter as much as we thought it would. We don't have exact numbers, but they're literally all education levels, all income levels, and many people are on disability. So yeah, make it nice and big. So this is the new website, and go ahead and just scroll down a little bit. There you go. Perfect, Alicia. So this is the new website, and these are some of the ALS reversals. And long-term survivors. And we will be adding to this list because we keep finding more. So we have full reversals, we have partial reversals. Thank you, Alicia. That's great. So you'll be able to scroll through these on the new website. So thank you so much. So you just need to quick stop your share. Thanks. That's great. So we will be adding, I mean, I'm hoping we're going to get like 100. I think we have like 36 listed right now, but we'll be getting more and more. And Mark Manchester, if you missed the Mark Manchester video, I think he's one of the most inspiring people. Okay, let's get some more. Let's do
Well, Tish, I have a question for you
okay.
before we move on. That one question in your poll, it said, if I finished the module, I was inspired. And well, I had to answer no to that because I didn't finish the module, but yet I was inspired by the material covered.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, that explains one of our people that weren't inspired. Great. Thank you so much for sharing, Steve.
Right. Yeah, I was inspired, but I had to answer the question no, because I didn't finish the module.
Oh, okay. I just figured you might leave that one out. But I will know that for future questions to reword them better. I will word the next set better.
Okay, great.
Tish, I think Allison had her hand up too.
Okay, Allison, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so I just want to say that I'm totally inspired. I started meditating more regularly now, and after seeing Stephen Sherry's thing, I'm doing it even more. And I went for the breathing test a couple days ago, and my breathing blew them away. I had the highest result of anyone ever. And I honestly think it's from all the meditative breathing that I've been doing, that my diaphragm and my lungs, are strong right now. And so, I'm thinking, well, do I really need to take this medicine that they're offering me that does all this other stuff? And, I think just the information that's shared has been helpful in me making a decision for myself about whether or not to take Radutech or not. And I don't think I will right now because my breathing is great. So I don't know, just that it's really helped me a lot. I think I eat clean and I do a lot of things already, but like getting my mind under control, I think was where my issues started. I think stress and anxiety are really what probably led me down this path. So anyways, thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for sharing. That was absolutely great. We're all in this together. This is a group of, you guys are a group of people, and we're hoping that we will go through these steps together and give each other ideas. So thank you so much. On the Real UTech and Rizal, I don't know whether Dr. Cowden is here. If you would like to unmute yourself and share if you would like to, you don't have to, I'm willing to share as well what we know about it. What we know is that and maybe I'll give you my comment, and then if you have anything further, it basically seems to compromise liver function. And one of the absolute keys to healing ALS is healing the liver so that you can detoxify. So you want your liver function to be optimal, which in general, liver enzymes, you should be between 15 and 25, your ALT and your AST. You guys should all check that out and see. But so even though your doctors will tell you anything under 40 is normal, you don't want normal with ALS. You actually want to work on healing your liver to optimal so that that liver can help heal your body from all the toxins that it has accumulated over the past, for most of us, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. So anyway, but so that's the biggest issue. We have 0 ALS reversals. This is an observation who have healed using Rilutech and Riluzole. Some of them took it temporarily. 100% of them went off of it. We don't know anybody who is actually reversed permanently, like long-term reversal using either of those drugs. I'm going for the whole thing. I'm not going for 2 months. I think we want to.
Can someone define what partial reversal is?
This is I consider a full reversal 90% or better. So for example, Kim Cherry still uses a walker, but he's still able to play golf. Okay. So he still lives a normal life. He can cook, he can make his own meals. He can, use the bathroom. He can do everything that he needs to do. So pretty much 90% of what he would do in normal life, he can do, over 90%. Some people are at like 99%, but anything over 90, I consider a reversal. A partial reversal means that they have significantly reversed, but they haven't healed. So they're at somewhere below 90%. And believe me, some of those partial reversals may turn into full reversals. So, and I wrote partial reversals / long-term survivors. We put them in one category. But for example, Dawn McCrae was told, she was diagnosed in 2002. And, so she's over 20 years into ALS, and her voice isn't back completely. But she's still able to move, walk, transfer, speak, with difficulty, but we put her in the partial reversals category. But we're all hoping that she will move up into that over 90% category. And if she does, she does. And if she doesn't, she doesn't. It doesn't matter, because she's a huge success. 20 years into ALS, living a fulfilling life, still being able to speak, still being able to transfer, move, do most of the activities of daily living is a huge success. I look at, there's another one, I think he's 25 years into ALS, still walking, still understandable. He was diagnosed at 56, he's in his 80s now. It's huge. It's huge. So, yeah, I want everybody to fully reverse, but boy, I'm really happy with people who have really good quality of life and who are able to go to their children's and grandchildren's weddings and graduations and be a parent and a grandparent and live a good life. It's all good. Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. This is basically from and Dr. Cowden, if you want to add anything to what I mentioned about Riluzole, ALT, yes, Sarah Jeannie answered it, optimal liver count. So thank you, Sarah Jeannie, for answering that question. So those are your liver enzymes. You should all know what your liver enzymes are, because you want to keep an eye on them. It's one of those things, whenever you get your regular blood count, the doctor can do a liver enzyme test. That's part of your CMP, complete metabolic panel, just the standard blood test that every doctor does. So yeah. And again, everyone needs to you are all responsible for your own health. Betsy, that's a really good comment. You have to decide what to do. Your liver enzymes went up on Riluzole, and instead of the neurologist telling you to stop taking Riluzole, he says stop taking supplements. So typical. Thank you for that comment. But again, you all decide what you want to do. It's your decision. It's your health. So great. Questions or comments? Feel free to raise your hand. If you raise your hand, then I'll just call on you and then we'll be all organized and we won't be interrupting each other. And Dr. Cowden, if you want to add anything, feel free to raise your hand, but you don't have to. So Dr. Cowden, by the way, is part of our medical advisory team, and we're so appreciative of what he does because he knows, like, I'm a lay person. This is how much I know. And Dr. Cowden knows, like, I don't know, like, if I know this much, he knows like this much, like huge amounts. So, we're so appreciative of his wealth of knowledge. Okay. Any other questions or comments? I am curious. I didn't ask how many people went to the Sunday recordings. I would love to know what everybody thought of the Sunday recording last Sunday's recording. I didn't ask that. I think I'll ask that next week, next time on the poll. Any
I wasn't
comment
able to get into it.
on Sunday? Do you know why?
I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get in.
Okay,
kept-
so
But I was now I'm using my computer. I was using my iPad and I don't know if maybe it was something with the iPad. I don't know.
yeah, the iPad, I can join meetings with my iPad, but it seems to be a lot screwier than the computer. So definitely don't miss it just because you have an iPad. So please try to, that's great. Yeah. So the password, by the way, is HEAL, both for this and for Sunday recordings. And Craig, love to hear from you.
Hi there. Did my homework, felt inspired. Everything's fantastic, but I can't find the boot camps on your website. I did a few weeks ago, but they seem to not be there now.
Okay, great question. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go to, this is healingals.org. We're going to click on Sunday recordings. That's how you get to the boot camps. And then on the meeting, if you can't see this, if this page disappears, it means you're not logged in as a member. So down at when you first, it says I'm logged in as ALS team right now. If I log out, this is going to disappear. So you need to go to the right and say sign in. Okay. And when you sign in on the top right, you're going to be able to find it. And then the boot camps, they're a little bit down, but you can find them. There they are, boot camps. So just scroll down a little ways and you will find them. And they don't quite line up, but don't worry about it because quite clearly this video goes with number 1, that video number 2, number 3, and number 4. So there's the boot camps. Okay.
Okay.
Great question. Thank you for asking, because I'm sure you're not the only one. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, Rita, good. So again, that you want your liver enzymes to be between ALT and AST between 15 and 25. And we're going to be talking about that in future modules. So as much as you can, so does it show that, and again, a lot of you are non-excretors. So for whatever reason, your detox pathways may be blocked. So a lot of you, if you do a urine test, for example, nothing will come out. Like you won't have any heavy metals come out. It doesn't mean that the heavy metals aren't there. It means that you are what we call a poor excretor or a sequesterer. So the people that, they have 15 mercury fillings and they're 90 years old and they're not sick at all. Okay. Those are good excretors. And if you check their urine, mercury will be coming out every day because they have fillings, but they're able to detox that. A lot of people with ALS are poor excretors. And so that's why we're actually spending 8 modules on detoxification in this course, because it's so important to do that. So if you have a healthy liver in general, you're good. But I'm going to have actually medical professionals do those modules because you want to make sure, and we're actually, if you haven't come this week, if you are a poor excreter, Rita is going to talk, Dr. Rita Ferraro is going to talk this Sunday about saunas and how to do them correctly. Because a lot of poor excreters, remember 50% comes out of your urine, 50% comes out of your bowel, and I think 20% comes out of your skin. Like of that, it's like whatever, 40, 40, and 20 is coming out of your skin. But the ones that are poor excreters, guess what? You can get it out through your skin. And it's very cool. So I'm really looking forward to this Sunday, and you should be too. So we are going to be working ahead. The detox modules, some of the homework you won't have to redo, or you'll just have to review it quickly, because we will be reviewing these Sundays. So get ahead, come every single Sunday, and you can get a head start. And again, use the boot camps, all the Sunday recordings. We've been doing this for 2.5 years. And the conference recordings are excellent because they're very, very well prepared. So the 2022, we did a whole session on detox, the basics of detox, the basics of nutrition. There's a lot of basics, healthy fats. There's a lot of really good stuff there. So if anybody is impatient and wants to work ahead, please look at the conference recordings, and buying the conference recordings is a way that you can support us. And also feel free, this is a free course, but absolutely feel free to use the donate button on healingals.org. Anyone who would like to make a voluntary contribution would be very well appreciated. Okay. Marilyn wants me to explain and again, I don't know what Relivio is. I read about it, I just forgot what it was. So the boot camps are back in the fall of 2020. We discovered that people they were coming on Sundays and feeling overwhelmed. So the 4 boot camps was to kind of catch them up with the basics. So the first boot camp is on diet and supplements. The second is on toxins and liver health. Oh, and the first one was a little bit on gut health. The third one is mental attitude. And the fourth one was on how to do your own research. So, and how to find a medical professional. So those 4 basic boot camps, the idea is for people who are just starting out, we're able to do that. And we also wanted a really different, for the people that want to join the WhatsApp, we put that as a minimum requirement because we don't want people coming on the WhatsApp group saying, hey, what's an antioxidant? We want you all to at least know the basics so that the quality of the conversation in that WhatsApp is much higher. Most of the people on the WhatsApp have had ALS for a while. They're very experienced, and we want everybody to do their own research. But then if you have a question after that, then make a question in the WhatsApp, or make comment if you find some things that really work. So that's a great group for you all to share in. That's the other name for AMX 0035 and that other thing. Yeah, so TUDCA, sodium phenylbutyrate and TUDCA, they're absolutely, these are absolutely positive supplements, and we talked about that last week. They're going to help you, but again, that's one piece of one of the 47 steps, right? So it's not going to heal you from ALS, but certainly like taking B12 and magnesium and other basic supplements, they can be very helpful. So thank you. I didn't know they now have like 3 different names for sodium phenylbutyrate and TUDCA. So TUDCA is very, they've known for years, it's very, very good for the liver. So. Okay. Rita Ferraro does do consultations with patients. Sarah Jeannie, I will, it's Dr. Rita Ferraro Dr. Rita Ferraro.com. I'm hoping I spelt it right. Oh, that's a direct message. So I meant to do that with everybody. You just share that. And Sarah Jeannie, I will also, if anyone wants to, she's actually stopped taking non-ALS patients so that she can take more ALS patients. She is excellent. I would absolutely, if you were looking for a guide, she's really good. And if anybody wants to, she also, you can also text her for a consultation. And you can text me and I will send you her number to text. So I would definitely strongly recommend, if you, all of you that are here, I would absolutely recommend her. She's really good. She's really knowledgeable and she's very reasonable. A lot of people, a lot of naturopaths are not, they're very, very expensive, and she's much more reasonable than the average. So, okay. Any other questions?
Yeah,
Comments?
Tish, I have another one here for you, that at the end of the module or step, whatever you want to call it, those questions there, like says, I have written down the 15 steps of Stephen Sherry, blah, blah, blah. I was trying to make a mark on the left side there, an X or a check mark, and it wouldn't mark at all.
Right. So just, that's for your own self. So I want you to know that you've done it. So there's no place, we don't have if we had a more advanced website, then it would remember it would remember your checkbox, but we don't right now. So it's for your own personal use. You can print out the page and do the check marks if you want to keep them, or you can just know that you've done module 1. The nice thing about it is we go to the registry, which we're going to do on week 4. I will show you the registry. And I think I showed you this last week, but the Healing ALS registry, you can very nicely, oops. I don't know, let's just do ALS registry. ALSregistry.org. Okay, so this will be part of the new step 12. Support team is actually going to be moved to step 13, and there will be step 12 is going to be how am I supporting myself, and you will be able to click off the modules as you get them done. So that way you can keep track in the registry of the modules that you have completed and also the modules that you've started. So we're going to give people credit for starting things. So, and also you get a second check mark when you've completed it. So that's really going to be helpful. So I'm excited that should be done in February. We're making slow but sure gains to our registry, and that is one of them. So we're going to add the modules as we release them. So they actually won't be done until the end of the year, but we're only going to add them like once a month. We're going to add another 4. So every month we're going to add the next 4 modules to the month, and then you'll be able to fill in which ones you've done. So great question.
Another question.
Okay.
Tish, that I'm seeing it's interchangeably. You're calling them modules and you're calling them steps.
Yep.
So which is it? I mean, are they modules or are they steps?
They're both. Good,
So
good.
that's
Also a
confusing.
great question. A module equals a step. Step 1 and step 1 and module 1 are the same.
Okay, that's a little confusing because there's step 1 and module, but that's the way it is. I just have to be.
That's the way it is. Step 1 equals module 1. I kind of wanted to put them in modules because they're like they're sort of independent. So in other words, if you need to go to the dental module earlier, right now you can't. If you need to go to the dental module, by the way, I suggest the 2019 conference recordings. Dr. Stuart Nunnally is excellent. He just gave you this beautiful, beautiful overview. And the 2022 conference, we have 2 different dentists. So if anybody has a question about dental, that is the best resource for dental. We do have one Sunday recording with one dentist, but I think the recordings from the conferences are actually better quality and a better use of your time. Because they were very well, they were all good. So Dr. David Kennedy also did a Sunday. So Sunday recordings is another one. SPB is sodium phenylbutyrate. Yeah. And AMX 0035, and now they have several different names for it. And we did get asked, do you Yeah, so that's a really good point. I was just reading Susie's. Our neuro makes my pals do blood work to check liver enzymes every 4 weeks since he has taken TUDCA. I believe since my pals began TUDCA in June 2022, his progression has halted. He's also taking 40 other supplements and vitamins. No sodium phenylbutyrate due to edema episodes. And great, Susie, that is really a helpful piece of statement. So understand, just because it's there doesn't mean it's good for you. The TUDCA was very good for her and for her pals, and the sodium phenylbutyrate was not. So that great. And TUDCA is one of those things that we absolutely recommend, because it's generally very, very good for the liver. Yes, it's over the counter. Yeah. Okay. Oh, great. Priscilla. Oh, so nice to see you. Please.
Hi, Tish.
Hi, how are you?
Well, thanks. I wanted to say I am on Relivrio already. And if people want to know more about it, I'm happy to get an email.
Okay, thank you, Priscilla. Feel free to share your email in the chat. Thank you. That's great. And then somebody else had their hand raised who I just didn't call on. I don't know what happened, but feel free to raise your hand again and comment. Okay, any other questions or comments? So, okay, so just raise your hand if anyone wants to share anything or put it in the chat. I am going to say the reason that we're spending time on reversals, and next week, module 2 is all about the science behind reversals, and you're going to be actually looking at more reversals. I want you to, the reason for these first 2 weeks is it will solidify your belief. That's the idea, is to just totally solidify it. And if you haven't reversed yet and you're doing this, and this, it means it's like a detective. It's like you can't, sometimes you get a roofer and they cannot find that hole. You've got a leak and they're looking here and they're looking there, and because they travel, the leaks travel, right? So you might have a leak in your living room, but depending on where the leak is, where it originates, it might be originated in a whole nother part of the roof. So understand, it is, we will find what the issue is. So it's determination, it's being a really good detective, it's just trying anything and everything. And it was very interesting. Oh, Harish, I'd love to hear from you. Go ahead, and if you could turn on your video for a sec, that would be great.
Hi there, Patricia and everyone else. Sorry, it's I'm in the UK. It's 1 a.m, so it's dark, so you won't be able to see anything if I put my camera on.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, the lady mentioned Tudka and her husband's success. I just want to find out. I mean, what sort of brand Tudka is she using? I noticed she's put a script. So, in America, when people say they've got a script for Tudka, does anyone know what brand or what it is exactly, please?
Okay, so this one got a script from Tudka at Hopewell. It's a compounding pharmacy. I'm sure that they have compounding pharmacies in the UK. But that is a very good point. The vitamins and minerals, the quality of the vitamins and minerals you take does matter. That's why we ask you on the ALS registry what brand you're using, because we do find that the brand is a difference. And the people that are not getting any results with Tudka definitely take a look at the other brands. But again, you may not be getting results from Tudka because you are breathing mold every day and you haven't gotten we're going to do a mold module. But by the way, if you haven't done a HERTSME test, that one I would work ahead on. I'm going to put it in the chat. Hurts Me. It's a cloth test, and it's by mycometrics.com, and you can send it from Europe. They will send it. And so it just tests and make sure you don't have any mold in your house. I think that's really important. So you can listen and get more from the mold we did in October. Dr. Cowden and Heather Plude did a presentation 2 Sundays on mold, and it is definitely worth testing your home because we're finding a huge percentage of pals are being exposed to mold. So if you have mold in your house, depending on the level, the Hurts Me, the reason we like the Hurts Me, there's another one. We can do the Dr. Cowden's Petri dish test as a backup. So if you end up with 0 Hurts Me, you can absolutely do the Petri dish as a backup, but it gives you an idea whether you're at 10, 20, 30, 40, you know, where you are on the mold scale. If you're like a 10, that's like equivalent to pack, and I'm just throwing this out there. It's not, but it's like smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. And if you have a 20, it's like 2 packs, and in the 30s, it's like 3 packs a day. So the idea behind the mold test is to, and we're going to be doing that. I think Clean Air is like I think step 6 or something like that. It's in there. So it's going to be fairly soon, and we will be talking about that. But if anybody wants to get ahead on that, please do it. It's sold in Canada. Look up the best products in Canada. Yeah. And the person who is getting the results, I would love to know where you're getting them from. Susie Crump, if you could share, Hopewell Pharmacy, there it is. Okay, that's where she got it. So she had it compounding. Look into a compounding pharmacy in your area. Generally, they are way better at getting good quality materials. So ask for a compounding pharmacy in your area. We have like 5 pharmacies in our town, and only one of them is compounding. So you want to get it, and they definitely exist. Okay. Okay, yeah. Sunday Zooms are not 2 p.m. PST, it's 2 p.m. EST, 11 a.m. PST. Thank you. Just to be very clear on Sunday Zooms. So Sunday Zooms are 2 p.m. Eastern time, 11 a.m. Pacific time, and 8 p.m. Western Europe, 7 p.m. UK. Okay. All right. I'm thinking maybe we're all set. So I look forward to seeing you next week. The most important thing to know is that you can all heal. Okay. And the last question was answered in the chat, mycometrics.com. So, and it's also in the October mold modules in the Sunday recordings. These 47 steps we believe are going to be life-changing because so many of you have slowed the progression. And if you are in the first 4 years of ALS and you are losing less than 1 ALSFRS score per month, then you are slowing progress. You are slower than average. So the average person with ALS in the first 4 years loses 1 point a month, approximately, for 4 years. So if you're in those first few years and you are losing less than 1 point a month, then you are beating the odds. So please congratulate yourself. And we want you to, and I am absolutely convinced that when you do these 47 steps, we're going to have a really big reversal and people who have stopped the progression. And then this year, a chunk who've reversed it. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it'll take 2 years. Sometimes it'll take 3 years, but absolutely you can all reverse it. Okay. Craig.
How do you work out the score? Where is the info on creating a score?
Okay, so that's one of the nice things about the ALS registry. Go to alsregistry.org, create a profile, and the ALSFRS score is the first one. So it's just a quick 48-point score, and you will have you will get your score at that point.
Okay.
So that's it. It's very quick. It takes a few minutes. And just to let you know what this looks like, if you go to registry and you're not signed in, I'm signed in at the moment. So I'm going to sign out, and that's what you get. you saw, if you're already a member, then you sign in, and otherwise you sign up, and you will be ahead for week 4, because week 4, the homework is going to be fill out the registry. So
Okay,
a little
Yep.
bit. Yeah, great.
thank you.
There are, I mean, the ALSFRS is around other places, but you might as well do it on the registry, and then you have a record of your own scores. And also, for those of you who want to do this before the end of January, we only have 27, 28, 29, 30, 5 more days after today to fill out the registry before the end of January, and then January closes up and you do February. So just to let you know, and for those of you who didn't see this, I'm sure you saw this, but this, I think, is one of the biggest things. Your ALSFRS score will be summarized every month. So you're going to have a summary of all of your records month by month by month. So it's really, really, really cool. So. Okay. Yes, if you, Heather Plude, Heather, if you want to put your email down there, that would be great if you could share your email. Heather is our mold expert. Thank you so much for the person who commented, because Heather is actually here with us, and she will consult with anybody on mold. She was very sick from mold herself, and she will put her email right there, heatherplude@gmail.com. And she can also get you a 10% discount. Please don't spend money on mold rehabilitation. It doesn't work. Heather told me that. She taught me that. It doesn't work.
Tish, I just want to say I can't get a 10% discount on the testing, because I've gotten a lot of emails on that. I have no connection with that lab, and they don't give discounts to anybody. But I can on, if you're looking for a solution for the mold, the machine that we use to get rid of mold, I can get you a 10% discount on that. So.
Okay, and that will be discussed, in much more thoroughly in our clean air module. But again, if you know you've got mold, contact Heather right away. Don't wait 4 weeks until we get to that module. So, because this is like essential, knowing if you've got mold, and if you do, you absolutely want to take care of it, and it doesn't have to be expensive. Go ahead, give you a little spiel on rehab, because Heather's been doing this since 2005 or 6 or 7. When did you guys get sick?
2010, my son wound up in a wheelchair and lost 1/3 of his body weight and had Alzheimer's symptoms, was having seizures every day. There was a lot going on. And when we figured out that we had toxic mold in the house, we were able to actually stop the symptoms. It was not just toxic mold, but we tried everything before we found the mold, and none of the treatments that we tried or the detoxing that we tried changed his symptoms at all until we found out about the mold. But we did remediation. We spent $40,000 on remediating the house. And then 2 years later, we were sick again in the house. We did another mold test, and the numbers were high again. So we found, I tried a dozen machines, looking for something that would take the mold away, and then finally found something that works. So for the past 8 years, I've been using high-tech air solutions, and it's hightechairsolutions.com. I'll put that in the chat. For ALS, if you're in the United States, you can order on the website, and the coupon Healing ALS will give you 10% off. If you're out of the United States, email you, I'll still get you the 10% off. We have to figure out the shipping where you are, and they don't have international ordering on the website.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so thank you all for coming. We'll see you next week. I will have module 2 there. You'll be able to click it right on the homepage with a little picture within an hour. I apologize, I didn't get up before, but it will be up very soon. All right. Thank you all for coming.
Quick question, if I can.
Yep.
Will each week be 1 hour long? Or
yeah, I put in an hour and 15 minutes. So each week, the idea is that we're giving you 2 or 3 hours of homework each week. And in fact, this week, I think it might be closer to, well, it might be, maybe it's under 4, but because it's videos. So you'll be watching a few extra videos this week. But generally, it's going to be 2 to 4 hours of homework, of self-study. And then this is the Q&A.
Yeah, for about 1 hour, 15 minutes. I just need to
And
get my
Sunday?
timetable going. And your Sunday, will that be 1 hour plus Q&A?
Yeah, so it's 1 hour plus the Q&A, and then we have breakout rooms after. So often people allow for 2 hours because they want to do the 1 hour, the half an hour of the Q&A, and then they want to join a breakout room for another half an hour. So if you want to kind of not miss anything, you can allow for 2 hours. But if you have a family event and say, you know what, I'll give you 1 hour, but I got to get going, that's okay
Yeah.
too. You know, so
Thank
it's all
you.
depending on your yeah, but it is, the breakout rooms can be nice. It's a nice way to connect with other pals. And that you guys can chat with each other and share things, and we do different topics. Yeah, but they're optional. The
That's
breakout
good.
rooms are optional.
Yeah,
on Sunday.
thank you.
And even the Q&A, you can, yeah, I think a lot, most people we learn a lot from the Q&A. So the
Yeah,
presentation
sure.
is great,
Yeah.
but I would tend to listen to the Q&A also.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
And we get that people have, we can, you know, Sundays try to get there live. It's way better live. It's so hard to catch up on recordings, but we also know that people can't always. So, all right.
Thank you. Good.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Right.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.